Yo, what's poppin' everybody? This is Saberwolf94, and we're gonna be looking at the Double Blaze Unbroken Bonds. It's how it's gonna be called in our English release, coming in the 1st of May, I believe. Double Blaze is the Japanese set. This is already out in Japan by the time I'm reviewing this anyway. Yeah, it's been out. It should been out for a couple of weeks there, and it's not exactly. I thought that it was going to be like a set focusing on the 5th generation. We've been having these regional sets ever since Ultra Prism. They focus on specific generations. Normally this would have been the Gen 5 set, but it doesn't really seem like it. There's a bunch of Gen 5 Pokemon, but I'm not sure if it completely has that air to it. Like we don't exactly have Gen 5 dudes, like Gen 5 supporters and stuff. But anyways, so this set, it definitely does have some cool stuff though. So let's begin here. I've got some oddish here. Got the regular one. It doesn't do anything, just some basic attacks. And let's look at look at the art. Okay, nothing spectacular. The yarn one here looks a lot cooler. I like this sort of art styles. I mention this every time. It looks cool, but it doesn't have anything special either. Just 60 HP, nothing really spectacular. Okay, and then we got Gloom. It looks kind of cool. Nice little background. And it does have an ability, so let's hope you have something good. Unbearable Scent. Once during your turn before you attack, you may flip a coin. If heads, your opponent reveals their hand and place one basic Pokemon from their hand onto their bench. So you force them to play a Pokemon from their hand to their bench if you get heads, a basic Pokemon. Now, this is something that the Dusknoir from Burning Shadows kind of does, and it can have some useful implications. Of course, that Pokemon puts damage counters on the thing you put on the bench. This one doesn't. But I'm guessing this is going to have some synergy to do with the Vileplume or the Bellossom, whatever you're going to evolve to. Let's see here. So Vileplume, 140 HP. Looks rather nice, but the stats aren't very impressive at this point. 140 HP with a 3 retreat cost is just not that good. I mean, this is Heart Gold Soul Silver sort of era HP for a stage 2, especially with this big retreat. But let's see what you do. You also have an ability, Variety Pollen. Once during your turn before you attack, you may flip a coin. If heads, your opponent's active Pokemon is now your choice of burned, poisoned, confused, or asleep. So you can do inflict any status basically. I mean, I would think you want to do something like burn, since it does the most damage, or maybe poison if you have a good way to keep your opponent stuck there so the damage can add up. It basically gives you the option to pair this with a bunch of different status helpers. But I mean, it's not really that. I mean, I guess it's a good ability, but I don't see the attack as impressive. It seems it just does 90 for 3, and then you just heal 30 damage from this Pokemon. Very, very mediocre. Like, for this era right now, things like these are just mediocre effects, mediocre damage. It's not going to cut it. I mean, if you think about how amazing Pokemon like the Charizard from Team Up are, the Blastoise, other Stage 2s, even like Nidoqueen, and they just having difficulty. I mean, Charizard is pretty solid, but of course it's not a tier 1 deck by any means, beating everybody else. So if that guy like can't really make it with such a great attack, such great ability, something like Vileplume, it's gonna have a hard time. Like, the only thing that's good is the ability. The stats are mediocre. Giant Bloom isn't a very great attack either. I mean, if it had a little bit tankier HP, then you can combine the healing from Giant Bloom with a bunch of other external healing, like from the Life Forest Stadium, a bunch of other cards, but not really going to cut it. I'm trying to think if the status effect can have any more useful implications, but it's just pretty simple. If you're going to burn, you combine this with something that does something with burn. If you're going to poison, then maybe you want to combine this with the Vipers, a bunch of other poison support Pokemon. It's very mediocre. It's very mediocre considering it's a stage 2. Okay, too bad indeed. Next up we got Venonat and Venomoth again. I don't mind Venonat, but I hate fucking Venomoth. I just reviewed you just a couple of uh, weeks ago, a few months ago, I guess by now, when in that ninja set, Night Unizon. Okay, so let's see. All you do is Psybeam, 10 and instant confusion. Okay. And what about you, you piece of shit? What does it do? Only 90 HP. Okay, very low. Free retreat, though, I suppose that's good. This disgusting, hideous bug. You can do Assassin Flight. You can use this attack only if your opponent's active Pokemon is affected by a special condition. This attack does 90 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Okay, that's interesting. I don't know if there's an error here, but apparently if your opponent's active Pokemon has a special condition, then you can do a 90 damage snipe with this Pokemon. Oh wait, only on the bench Pokemon, so yeah, you can't hit the active. Okay, alright. So I guess if you use this in Expanded, combine this with things like Laser, or I don't know, like you use the Ariados, which is also a bug, from Ancient Origins, then you can continuously do 90 for 1 on the bench. I mean, it might not be too bad, I guess, combining just a bunch of Stage 1 Pokemon. At least it's easy to do so, it's not that difficult, like Vileplume. And then you can do Poison Power for a conventional attack, I suppose. This one does 30 for 1, and then you poison the opponent. Decent, I guess. It's not actually too bad, if I'm being objectively honest about the merits of the card. The only problem is the low ass HP, and it's a disgusting Pokemon for me, Venomoth. But, you know, besides the shitty HP, Free Retreat is good. The attacks are decent, I guess, if you want to try it out. With paired up with another special condition-esque inflicting Pokemon like Ariados. You combine this with lasers, a bunch of other stuff. In the standard format, I guess, who do we have that inflict status? I guess you can use the Salazzle that inflicts status when it evolves. That could work too. Whatever, okay. Spend enough time on you. Okay, now we have our first tag team GX of this set, and it is Reshiram and Charizard Gx. So a cool combination, you know, you combine this legendary with another iconic Pokemon, kind of like they did with Celebi and Venusaur, they did with Zekrom Pikachu, and it's the same here. This is going to be our first Fire Tag Team GX Pokemon, so it's quite exciting. I'm pretty sure I can actually use this with something like Emboar and Expanded. It should be some good stuff. So maybe finally we'll have the Raybor deck is going to evolve into not even be Raybor. It's going to be Reshibor or something. Classic, going back to the classic when it was used with Reshiram in black and white. Okay, so this guy has 270 HP. That's very nice. I'm glad it has good HP. 3 retreat, okay. And it's got 3 attacks. We got Outrage. Your typical Outrage attack, it seems. It's going to do 10 more damage for each damage card on this Pokemon. But it starts at 30 as opposed to 20. So it's kind of like the Kyurem, and I think the Taurus GX does the same. They start with 30. Considering this is a tag team GX though, I mean, you'd think it would do like start at 40 or be slightly better in a way. I mean, I guess a Pokemon like this does have even higher HP, so it's probably very difficult for your opponent to get a one-shot. So if they do a lot of damage, then Outrage on a high HP Pokemon like this, it has a lot of potential to be strong. And then the next attack, Flare Strike, I would imagine this is going to be your main attack. 230 for 4 energies, 3 of which need to be fire. And this Pokemon can't use Flare Strike during your next turn. Okay, so it's not exactly, you know, Rayquaza style attack where you can discard energies and choose how much damage you do, like control the damage output you're going to put out. But 230, it can take care of a lot of things in one hit, of course. It's going to take care of all of the Stage 1 GXs. It's going to take care of even some Stage 2 GXs. And I guess with the Choice Band, you can even take care of Tag Team GX Pokemon. So it's good. It's not that it's bad. Uh, it's kind of like the Lattice, the tag team Lattice Gx, the Lattice attack where it does a lot of damage, discard a bunch of stuff, but it's not that controllable damage. I mean, you're stuck at that 230. Either way, it's good. I'm definitely going to use this with the Embor if I get the chance. And Double Blaze GX, the name of this set, this is a trend that happens. You do 3 fire energy for 200 damage, and if this Pokemon has at least 3 extra fire energies, this attack does 100 more damage, and this attack damage isn't affected by any affecting your opponent's active Pokemon. Okay, that's a bit sad. So it's in a way almost like a shittier Zekrom and Pikachu GX attack. It basically needs 3 more, and instead of doing like a 170 snipe on the bench, what you do is you do 100 more damage, and it won't be affected by any effects on the active Pokemon. So I guess you can do 300 for 6 damage, and you're going to take care of anything in one hit. And you don't care about effects. So I guess if you want to use this against a Hoopa or something, it's your only way to out that dude. And you just want to go ahead and hit a Pokemon that would normally be immune. You can do it. Probably Zekrom's and Pikachu's is more broken, but doing 300 for 6, you know, being able to instantly kill anything you want is also kind of useful, I suppose. It's not the greatest, but I guess it'll do. It's a nice little Pokemon. It doesn't scream super crazy, but you gotta remember there's a bunch of ways we can accelerate fire energies, especially in expanded, with things like Embor, with things like the Blacksmith. There's Kiawe in standard too, so you best believe this Pokemon can definitely exploit this. I mean, it's gonna be like the new Ho-Ho if you're gonna use Kiawe, that style of deck. So this is definitely a good card. I'm thinking it's going to be a good card, especially considering like when the metal stuff comes out. Like I reviewed the Full Metal Wall set too, and the metal support in there is pretty broken, if I'm being honest. Like it's almost impossible to kill this Pokemon. It's going to take this sort of fire damage hitting with weakness and doing a lot of damage to kill Pokemon like those. So maybe this card is going to see good play if metal becomes a thing. The thing is that these metal decks would use the frying pan too, and that gets rid of weaknesses. But I suppose there's field blowers too. Good fire Pokemon. It's not the greatest. It's probably not on the level of Zekrom Pikachu. Reshiram kind of got the short end of the stick this time, but it's definitely strong. It's still strong. Right. We got Growlithe and Arcanine. It doesn't really do much. Live Call. And wow, what kind of... There's like some houses in the background, some interesting architecture, to say the least. Okay, doesn't do anything special, just straight damage. And then Arcanine. Hope you're good. We have, I think we should have only one Arcanine now in standard, and I wish I could make use of it, doing a lot of damage. This one is kind of the same. It seems it can do a lot of good damage. With Grand Flame, you do 120 and attach 2 fire energies from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon. That's not bad. That's actually a good effect, especially when you do 120 as well. And then Heat Tackle, you can do 190 and this Pokemon does 50 damage to yourself. So as opposed to discarding 3 energies, like the other one from Sun and Moon does, I guess this one just does 50 damage to yourself. I mean, I guess if you're going to do this, if you have some damage on, then you probably kill yourself in the process. But 190 damage is definitely high. Now, these are big energy costs, though. On a stage 1, it's kind of awkward because if it's a basic, if it was a basic, then you can use Kiawe. Maybe you can do some other stuff. But when it's a stage 1, it means that, you know, if you combine this with another stage 1 or a stage 2, then it can kind of be more difficult, grabbing a lot of energies as well. So, I don't know, I mean, I really wanted to use the Magmortar when it was released in Ultra Prism. Even traded Guardians Rising packs to get those dudes. Like, I don't remember exactly what the trade was, but it didn't work out. Couldn't really make that work. So I'm beginning to question if this Pokemon would be able to do anything. But on paper, it does look good. The HP is good, the attacks are good. Granted, they cost a lot, but they do a lot of damage and they have some good effects. Like Grand Flame has a good effect. Heat Tackle does a lot of damage. I mean, I guess once you do manage to have at least 3 energy on, you can do energy acceleration that way with its attack. So it might be solid. I don't know. I kind of like it. Solid card. Okay, next up we got Darumaka and Darmanitan. It's been a while since I've seen you guys. This Darumaka is cool. It's got this clay art going for it. Nice, nice. The Poop Fire Pokemon. Alright, it can do Flame Charge. Search your deck for a Fire Energy and attach it to this Pokemon. Okay, and flop, just 20. And what about you, Darmanitan? Do you do some cool stuff? Let's see. You got Find Wildfire. Search your deck for up to 3 Fire Energies. Energy cards, reveal them and put them into your hand and shuffle your deck. Not very useful. I mean, we've got this sort of a Fiery Flint card, whatever the fuck it's called, in Dragon Majesty, where you can use that and reliably search a lot of Fire Energies in the form of an item. So his first attack is pretty much outclassed by that. Pretty pointless, to be honest. And Flare Blitz, you do 110 for 2 Fire Energy and discard all Fire Energy attached to this Pokemon. Is also kind of mediocre. Decent damage output, but it's not the greatest. There's probably other fire Pokemon that outclass this guy. A bit sad. I think it's been a while since we've seen a Darmanitan card, and you end up not being that good. Oh well. Who's next? We got Volcanion, a fire Volcanion. What up? Are you gonna be good like your OG counterpart? Your original counterpart in Steam Siege. So it has 120 HP, which is actually lower than that guy. And the same retreat. Or at least I think it's the same retreat. That guy had 2 as well. So already a bad start. Its stats are worse. You can do Fire Starter. Search your deck for a Fire Energy and attach it to one of your Pokemon, then shuffle your deck. If you go second and is your first turn, you can search up to 3 Fire Energies instead of 1. Wow, okay, so this is definitely a good attack. If you play second and is your first turn, he instantly gives you a little mini broken effect there. Just instantly grab 3 Fire Energies on a basic Pokemon. It's pretty freaking good. And if you don't miss out on that effect, or if you're just going to use this, get the normal effect off, then grabbing a Fire Energy and attaching to one of your Pokemon is still good. Now, if you compare this with the Great Xerneas in the X and Y set with Geomancy, then this card is pretty outclassed, but you know, it's still pretty good. It's still Fire Energy Acceleration. It's still grabbing energies from the deck. So even if it's 1 and not 2, I see this being solid. The difference is that fire Pokemon usually have a lot of broken attacks where they can do a lot of damage and they discard energies. So it's kind of balanced out like that. You know, fairy Pokemon have different type of support, or they did anyway. And your other attack for 2 Fire Energies, High Heat Explosion. It does 50 for 2, and if there are 4 or more Fire Energy attached to your Pokemon in play when used for this attack does 60 more damage. So I guess 50 for 2 is decent, and it's a basic Pokemon. And if you have a few Fire Energies around, like maybe you grab a few with this guy's first attack, as long as you have 4 or more in play in any Pokemon from what it says here, then it's going to do consistently 110 for 2, which is actually pretty good. You guys can see that, you know, it already puts Darmanitan to shame in a way. So this is a nice little basic fire Pokemon. It's actually going to be great in a deck like Blaziken, Fire Starter Blaziken and Blaziken Gx. You use this guy as a starter, start grabbing fire energies that way, and kind of putting pressure on your opponent in that you're grabbing energies until you're ready with your Stage 2 Pokemon. So it's very, very nice. A welcome addition for that deck. I'll be happy to use it there. It makes things less complicated. I won't have to run things like Shuckle and things like the Tornado Gx try and use that guy's GX attack. It's nice. I definitely like it. Just a basic Pokemon, solid stats. Both attacks are useful. Very good. The background art is kind of cool as well. It's like there's a volcano, a lot of fire, lava shit going on behind him. I mean, normally this would be something like Groudon's background, but it's cool. I like it. Like it. Okay, we got Litten, 2 Littens, a Torracat, and an Incineroar. What you guys have? My starter of choice in Sun and Moon. Let's see if you can do anything. So Singe, instant burn, 50 HP, and then the other one has 60 HP. Can do Blessing, draw a card. This Pokemon is now asleep. I don't see what the point of that is. I mean, this Pokemon that can just essentially do this attack and just draw 1 card. So why are you going to put yourself to sleep? That's bad. And then Big Bite during your opponent's next turn. This Pokemon can retreat. Alright, whatever. It's nothing really spectacular compared to the other Littens we have available now. What about you, Torracat? Got Farfang, 20 and burn. Okay, that's a bit better. Some wacky art going around here. Like, it's like this cat dude is running. It seems like it's a beach there in the area. Okay. And then Incineroar, the stage 2. It seems it has an ability. Let's see if you do some good stuff. Strong Yell. Your Pokemon's attacks do 30 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. You can apply more than 1 Strong Yell ability at a time. Wow. Okay, so this is definitely a good effect. Now, it doesn't stack, and that's a bit sad, but in a way, it kind of prevents it from getting too broken. Like, even if you just have 2 of these guys out, you know, doing 60 extra is a lot. But it's good. I mean, it means that all of your guys are going to do 30 more damage when you get 1 of these Pokemon out. So kind of stronger than a Prism Diancie in a way for fighting Pokemon. This is in the stage 2, and it works on all Pokemon. It doesn't say fire here. So it's nice, not bad. It's going to boost all the other guys and this guy. And you can do Flamethrower, 94, 2, and then discard an energy attached to this Pokemon. Mediocre ass attack, I guess. I mean, it's going to be 120 with his ability. I wish it was slightly better because it just kind of becomes normal at this point with the ability. Doing 120 for 2. But, I don't know, I guess you're going to help out your other guys too. Yeah, you best believe if there was like a Maxi or Archie for fire Pokemon, people would just try and get this guy out and then get the boost that way. So thank God it doesn't exist. But if it did, it'd probably be banned with the release of this card. It's decent. The ability is good, but it just has 1 attack. It's not even that amazing. 160 HP is solid for stage 2. There's the Incineroar and Shining Legends that had 170, but it ended up not being very good. It was actually decent now that I think about it. If only I had like a few copies, maybe I would have tried it out. Yeah. Nice little art. I like this one too in the background. You got this fire going, and this dude is on his knees. Cool. We got another Salandit and Salazzle. It seems by the end of the Sun and Moon era, we're gonna have like millions of these. Like, I swear to God, in almost every set, we get another Salazzle. It's crazy. So, Grass Fire. Okay, interesting name. Discard a grass energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. So this guy is a big grass hater, I guess. You're gonna hit them for weakness and discard their energies. Or it has to be discard a grass energy. Okay. So it's any basic grass energy, it's gonna get discarded. Okay. Can be useful. Nice little effect on a basic Pokemon. It's got 70 HP too, only 1 retreat. So this might be the best landed by now that we're getting. And this Salazzle here. Alright, some good CG art going here. And you have Roast Reveal. Once during your turn, you may discard a fire energy from your hand. If you do, draw 3 cards. Oh yeah, now we're talking some real shit. So, Draw support Pokemon are kind of, I don't want to say sparse. I guess we do have a couple. We have that Zebstrika. It's not, of course, on the level of Octillery or something like Claydol way back in the day. But this is definitely good. This is pretty much the same effect as the Ninetales from the Heart Gold Soul Silver era had. You discard specifically a Fire Energy and you can draw 3 cards. No other hand limit conditions, so you can have a big hand with this. It's got a 2 for 60 attack too, so I guess it can be decent too in some emergency situations. It's better than the Octillery's attack, that's for sure. Only 1 retreat, which is good. These support Pokemon usually have shitty retreats like that, so it won't be an easy Pokemon to get stuck. You can just attach an energy and move it out of the way if your opponent decides to do this. And it's got 100 HP too, better than Octillery. Then again, it's a much newer card. Nice, I really like it. Another good card that you can use in Blaziken decks, in any other fire deck. Damn, it's just a lot of different options. Like, you can even fucking use this with Charizard. I mean, I've been using the deck, and this would be a good partner for it. You might need to start running even more energy recovery, but it's definitely nice. Not bad. Not bad indeed. This is definitely going to be a good draw Pokemon in those decks. They're going to appreciate any fire deck. It's going to appreciate this draw Pokemon. Next up is Philon, a regular Philon. This might be the first one, I believe. 120 HP, double retreat. You got Blazer. Turn over one of your face down prize cards face up. If that card is a fire energy, this attack does 50 more damage. The prize card stays face up until the game is over. So yeah, it's kind of like a mini Gallade attack, to be honest, from Secret Wonders. You're going to reveal your prize cards and you do more damage. Now granted, you don't have the option to reveal all of them and do broken damage, but it gives you the chance to do high damage for 1 energy, like do 60 for 1. Is it worth it to reveal your prize cards and hope there's a fire energy there? Probably not, but you know, people can try, I guess. And then Fireball Circus. You discard as many fire energy cards from your hand as you like. For each energy discarded this way, this attack does 50 more damage. Okay, so it's not from your from itself that is attached, it's from the hand. So I guess once you build this guy up, if you keep him around, if it survives, with a card like the Fire Flint, I believe it's called, where you can instantly grab 4 like that, man, that's instantly 200 damage, so it's one of these attacks that has potential if you have a way to make it work. If you have a way to put the fire energies on this guy and then keep adding the fire energies. Once you add a few and you discard them, then you can use things like Fisherman 2 and energy retrievals. So that's an obvious combo. The first time, of course, you're going to get them with something like Fire Flint. So nice. It might be a nice Pokemon. Yeah, like I guess you can even use this. I could use this and expand it with Embor. Instead of just discarding them, I guess, from the Pokemon, I'm discarding them from the hand and doing damage that way. It's kind of rough, though. You need to discard a lot of them, and you're going to need 3 for this attack to work, too. But it is a basic Pokemon. So, yeah. I'm pretty sure some people are going to try and make it work. We got some Poliwraths next. Nice. My cool Poliwrath. Like that Pokemon a lot. Used to be one of my favorites when I was young. Like, I would change what my favorite Pokemon was all the time. Back in the Gen 1 era. I just couldn't decide which I wanted more. I mean, Gengar probably stuck around for the most part as my favorite the longest. But, yeah, I liked Poliwrath a lot as well. His OG Pokemon. Okay, so this Poliwrath has Dam all around. You can only use this ability on your first turn, and if you go second, your opponent's active Pokemon is now confused. Okay, not the most broken ass effect. I mean, confusing the opponent like that, but I guess it's something. And what does the other one do? This one's probably going to be the normal one. A nice little cute art. Poliwrath, always being cute. 60 HP, and then has Call for Family. Search your deck for a basic Pokemon, put it onto your bench. Nice, so both of them kind of solid. And next up is Poliwhirl, Bubble, and just Knuckle Punch, nothing spectacular. Okay, cool. You got two of them in the background, one of them in the main guy here, and then one in the background sitting there. And then Poliwrath. And I see we have a Dugong as well. That's cool. So this guy has 150 HP, can do Knuckle Punch for 1 DC. I guess you do 50. And then a Spiral Rush. If you have Poliwag or Poliwhirl on your bench, 180. Okay. Now, this is definitely a good attack. So, for 1 Water and 1 DC, you have the potential to do 180 damage. Okay. So the condition isn't really that hard to meet. Like most of the time you're actually struggling to get multiple of these out, multiple of a stage 2 Pokemon out. So you're probably going to have like a Poliwag or Poliwhirl down. So you can easily do like 180. It's double colorless compatible. Not bad. I mean, now with basic GX Pokemon being the shit, and you know Zekrom seeing play all the time, the 200 being able to do like 210, like if you slap a choice band on this guy, is not the same as it was. It's just crazy to think about. But yeah, you're still going to be able to take care of those stage 1 GXs though. And that must amount to something. I like this guy. I'm definitely trying him out when I get him. It's just pretty simple. Another good stage 2 Pokemon, pretty simple. I'm glad. It seems we've been getting a lot of more of these options here. Charizard has been pretty solid. Some other options are pretty solid. Just these stage 2 Pokemon. And this guy, I like him a lot too. Very nice. Okay, now for Ceylon Dugong. Yeah, it's been a while since I made my Pokemon TCG overview. There's a reason I'm not, like, if, I guess this is on a side note, something really irrelevant. The Pokemon TCG overview is something that I really like doing. It was originally what was my original plan for this channel, was just to make those types of videos every now and then. And then I ended up doing matches and decks and all this stuff. I'm sure you guys just want to see those and set reviews. But I'm in a position now where I gotta get, like, I can't do these Pokemon TCG reviews because I need to get a new computer. Like, I'm working from my laptop here. When I used to make those, I would have like the writing the scripts and having like the screen in front of me and writing all that stuff. I just had a nice little setup when I was doing it, really enjoying it, and I can't quite do this now. Hopefully in time, because I want to get back into writing scripts and making videos like those. I did the DC one recently, the DC top 10 DC Pokemon, but that was kind of an exception. Oh well. Okay, so this seal here, I went off topic. Doesn't do anything special. Nice art as always. These cards usually have some good, you know, sea aquatic backgrounds and stuff. I like them. And we got Dugong with 120 HP and 2 retreat. Not really a massive improvement from the other guys from the last one in Fates Collide. I really like the art though. Once again, you got this sort of dawn, like sunsetty background, sky, and this dude is like leaping out of the sea, making a splash. It seems it works with any energy. Kind of classic for Dugong. Quite a few Dugong cards do this. They make for good techs. And what do you do though? You can do Tail Whap, 60 for 2. Okay, not bad for a first attack, I guess. Just went with a DC. I mean, if this was like the black and white days, this would have made a good like tech. You would just slap like, I don't know, like a Silver Bangle or a Muscle Band, and with weakness you could hit like EX Pokemon that were weak to water. And now this combo isn't so effective. In Dual Blizzard, discard 2 energy attached to this Pokemon. This attack does 60 damage to 2 of your opponent's Pokemon. So it's essentially a 120 snipe that's in split damage in 60s. And you got a discard too. Works with any energies. It's nice, but because it's a stage 1, normally the decks where I would put this guy in, like energy acceleration decks, now he kind of can't be used there. So I don't know. I mean, I guess you can use this with DCs. Just discard a DC and do some solid spread damage like that. It's just nice, man. It's just some decent stats, decent attacks. It looks good on paper once again, but it probably won't cut it in top competitive play. Yeah. But yeah, I really miss making the Pokemon TCG overviews. I really just like examining all, like taking a certain Pokemon and examining all its cards in its history of print. Hopefully when I get like another computer and I have my setup like I had before, I can start writing them again. Alright, and then we got Crabby and Kingler. This guy's 2. And you do Stampede, Vice Grip, okay. And then Kingler. 130 HP, big ass for retreat cost. You can do Bubble Beam, and then Massive Rend. Pretty unimpressive, just standard stuff. Not very good damage for the energies you need. Too bad, because I think we haven't had a Kingler card in a while too. And then we got Stunfisk here, and you can do Raging Thunder, 30 for 1, and this attack does 10 damage to one of your bench Pokemon. What the fuck? This doesn't make sense. Oh well, whatever. And then Shock Trap. This attack does 30 damage for each of your Pokemon and play with a damage counter. Okay, I get it. So I guess it's supposed to synergize with the second attack. Now, if you have a bunch of damaged dudes, if you have, let's say, like a full bench and they all have damage counters on, then you can do 150, I guess. And it also works with itself. So I guess if this guy's hurt with at least 10 damage, then you can do 200 damage too. Wow. So I guess I'm pretty sure that's how this attack works from how it's worded here. It doesn't add up with every damage counter on your Pokemon, otherwise it would have been the most broken attack. But if you have like a bunch of Pokemon with at least one damage counter, then it becomes times 30. Wait, actually, it's times 30, not times 50. So, wait a minute. 5 times 3, okay, 180, not 200. That's the maximum without any add-ons. It's still good though. I mean, it's still a nice attack. The art is kind of interesting too. You got these Goomies there in the background, look kind of scared, kind of worried for some reason. And then this shitfish right here, smirking, kind of being happy, splashing in the water, whatever. It's nice though. They made this normally pretty unimpressive, boring ass Pokemon kind of look cool here in a way. Okay. Ugly duckling Pokemon. Now let's go for another Tag Team GX. We've got Muck and Alolan Muck here. Now I'm actually surprised they decided to combine these two Pokemon in our Tag Team GX. Normally they go for like a cool actual like partner combination, like let's say Pikachu with a Lightning Legendary Zekrom, or with Celebi with Venusaur. You know, these kinds of, you know, cool interactions where it kind of seems unlikely, but it also seems kind of cool, like they would make badass partners. I mean, these guys, they're pretty much related. It's the Muck and Alolan Muck, but I don't get why they would combine them like that. I thought like these Tag Team GX Pokemon weren't supposed to be like this. I mean, I guess Latias and Latios, they were kind of, I guess they were related as well. Oh well. Okay, so it's these shit guys making a combo. So, Severe Poison. Your opponent's active Pokemon is poison. Put 8 damage counters instead of 1. Nice. So, if your opponent sticks around, you're looking at 240 damage. That's pretty broken. So, you really just can't afford to stay on this guy once it poisons you with this attack. Now, granted, it does need a Psychic and a DC, but it's not the worst condition for 8 damage counters. It's a lot of damage, man. I mean, yeah, for sure. Alright, and then Poison Suction. If your opponent's active Pokemon is poisoned, heal 100 damage from this Pokemon while doing 120. Okay, that's pretty broken, because even if you don't poison them with your first attack, if you just use something like Laser and expand it, or just somebody else like a Ariados, like I've said, you know, healing 100 from this guy when you've got 270 HP, it becomes one of these broken, you know, tank interactions, taking advantage of these Tag Team GX Pokemons. Very, very high HP. I mean, I guess Venusaur with Celebi, they do shit like that as well. But, I mean, I don't know. This guy doesn't really need that much support. The attack does need 4 energies, and 120 isn't the greatest for that damage, for these energies. But I guess this is what this guy has going for him. And Sticky Mix, the first Tag Team GX attack that doesn't require any energies. And your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed and poisoned. If this Pokemon has at least 4 energies attached to it, put 15 damage counters instead of 1 on that Pokemon between turns. Insane. So it needs 4, you don't just need like 1 extra. And you're gonna put 15. Fuck. I mean, so I guess if you really do this with 15, you put 4 energies to put those 15 damage counters and poison it like that, then it just pretty much is a guaranteed knockout on any Pokemon. Like, unless they switch, they have like a switch or something, they can't escape with the paralysis. So if they get stuck there, is a guaranteed knockout on even something like Tag Team Wailord GX. Yeah. Now for 4 energies, is it worth it? I'd say it is. If they stick around, it is. It definitely is. Now if they don't, then it's meh. But you can even use this with no energy and just paralyze and poison. So yeah, you can do it that way. Tag Team GX, pretty good as well. It can do some stuff, definitely. More poison shenanigans. Okay. Next up, we got Gastly, a Gengar line. Exciting. Gengar getting another stage 2. Haven't seen one since the Crimson Invasion one, which was mediocre as fuck. And this guy, only 40 HP, but you can do an increasing grudge. When this Pokemon has been knocked out, search your deck for up to 2 Haunter and put them onto your bench. Cool. That's nice. It actually gives your opponent a shitty ultimatum, actually. So if you're struggling to get your stage 2 out and you got these basic Gastlys laying around, if your opponent kills this guy while active, you can instantly get like 2 Haunters and put them down there. And that'll probably help you get into Gengar. So it's cool, very nice, I like it. It encourages you to run more Haunters, but it's good, it's definitely good. And this guy, what do? Sinister Fog. This art is kind of wacky. I don't know if I dig it, but what is the effect of the attack? Your opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned, and then put 1 damage counter on each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. This is basically the attack that the Breakthrough Gengar did, and I think it might even be better. Like, it costs less damage, it costs 1 less energy, or it might be just the same energy cost. But this is on Haunter, not on Gengar. So really, really nice. Great attack for sure on stage 1. And then Gengar, what you got, my man? Let's see. You got Shadow Pain. When you play this card from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, put 6 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon EX or Pokemon GX any way you like. Nice, nice. Kind of gives me that Stormfront vibe with his first attack. Yeah. It's going to be a GX and EX hater, but though these are the most popular Pokemon, so that's good. And then Twilight Poison. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now asleep and poisoned, and you can do 70 damage. It's not the greatest, but you can definitely see it's much stronger than the one Crimson Invasion did. Like that guy did 70 for 3, and it required at least 1 psychic energy, and it just provided confusion. This attack, you can do this with any energy, and it's poison and asleep, definitely better than just being confused. Nice. It still has that kind of underwhelming at this point, 130 HP for a stage 2. But at least it's carrying free retreat, I guess to be expected. Finding resistance, weak to dark is kind of fucked up. Zoroark is going to kill you, but I mean Zoroark was going to kill you anyway, I guess. It wouldn't be that difficult with only 130 HP. Right. It's cool. It's definitely Gengar cool. I mean, if you don't go up against GX and EX Pokemon, you really just miss out on the ability completely, and then you're just carrying this just meh attack. I mean, I don't know. It's just it's nice. It's solid. Is it better than something like Charizard from Team Up? Probably not, but it's good. I think Poliwrath is better, but this guy is definitely nice too. The cool thing about this guy is that at least his like stage 1 and stage in its basic line it's good. Like this Haunter is good. The Gastly was good as well. There's another Gastly here actually as well. Did I check you out? No. So this one has 60 HP. You got this nice little moon background here that just reminded me of a Yoshi's Island stage. If you guys know the one I'm talking about, Yoshi's Island, that's a specific stage. Whatever, I'll leave you guys to figure it out. And this one just the Smog, I guess. The other one is definitely better. It's a weakling with 40 HP, but the ability is just too broken to ignore. So at least this Gengar has these helpful pre-evolutions to help him out. That's what sets him apart, I guess. Coughing and wheezing. Foul odor. Both this Pokemon and your opponent's active Pokemon are confused. And you got the Team Rocket chick. Yeah. Okay. And wheezing. Detaining gas. As long as this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, between turns, put 1 damage card on each of your opponent's basic Pokemon in play. So Attack Deep GX Hater. A basic Pokemon hater. It's kind of merciless for the small guys that are trying to evolve, but I guess it needs to be active as well. I mean, between this guy and something like the Shrine, you have both of them around. Now, their damage is probably going to add up on these GX basic Pokemon. It's a solid ability, that's for sure. I mean, combine this with something like Floatstone in the expanded format with Pokemon that hit and switch, and it might be solid. And then Scattered Sludge for your attack for 1 DC, and does 40, and it's going to do 20 damage to each of your opponent's bench Pokemon with a damage counter on it. Alright, so it's got some solid spreading capabilities as well. Pretty good stage 1 Pokemon all around. 120 HP as well. Cool. Cool, it's a good Pokemon, another good Pokemon. Okay. Mewtwo, basic Mewtwo. What's up? Mind Report. Once during your turn, when you play this card from your hand to your bench, you may return 1 supporter from your discard pile on top of your deck. Oh, thank God. I thought for a minute it said it was going to be returned into the hand. If it was, you best believe this guy was going to be the new VS Seeker Pokemon guy. Like people running this like a Tapu Lele GX to act as a supporter gatherer from the discard pile. But because it's on the top of the deck, it's not as broken. But you know what? For a deck like Zoroark GX, it is going to be broken. Like decks that have the ability to draw cards have ways to draw, like through abilities and shit. And I guess you can even just use this with like a whistle or an acrobike or whatever. It's still good. So even though it's not straight via Seeker, you put it in the hand, it's still a very good effect, a very good ability. And I'm certain it's going to see play in decks like these that can just draw like that. Good. And then Psyshock, 70 damage for 3, and this attack damage isn't affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. Okay, it's not quite Shred, but I guess it is DC compatible. I wish it did like at least 80 damage though. 70 is a bit underwhelming. Oh well, I guess that's the package we get with the ability. I don't know, I think this might be like a set to do with the movie that's coming. Or maybe it is a black and white themed set. I'm not too sure because normally these regional sets, like for example, Ultra Prism, it had Volkner in, it had Cynthia in, then you got the Forbidden Light, it had Diantha in, and you know the X and Y guys, Lysander, and then you got Celestial Storm, you had things like Steven in, shit like that, and then Lost Thunder had a bunch of Gen 2 guys. So if this is like supposed to be the black and white set, you gotta show me some black and white dudes. So I think it's just a generic Sun and Moon set, and the set after this, it might be like centered around black and white. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens, what they do. We got Mew as well. Okay, so both Mew and Mewtwo coming in here. Bench Barrier. Your bench Pokemon are not affected by damage from your opponent's attacks. Cool! So this is going to be my new Mr. Mime. The effect of Bench Barrier on a Mew card. Cool, cool. I'll be happy to include you in my decks. Get that Bench Barrier going. This is such an uh, uh, underrated kind of effect. Like, for as long as any of the Mr. Mimes were around, like the one from Plasma Storm and the one from I think it was Breakthrough was around, I've always used them in my decks to get that bench protection. It's just such a great effect. It's just great. So definitely using that. It's got less HP, but I think it has actually an attack that, yeah, one colorless, so you can use it with any deck. Put 3 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon any way you like. So at least it has a solid attack too. It's not like Mr. Mime where you couldn't really attack with him. Okay, and you know what? Because it has 60 HP, it means that if you run it in decks that use Elm, you can actually grab this instantly too. So good. I like it very much. I normally don't run new cards in my decks. It just never had the right chance. But I guess I'll be running you now. Yep, yep. Then we got Mischievous, and Mismagius. Evil Eye. Put 1 damage counter on one of your opponent's Pokemon. And they do this sort of this set kind of has a distinct art style they've been overusing here, I think. And then Mismagius, Mysterious Tail. You may knock out this Pokemon if you do draw cards from your deck until you have 7 cards in your hand. Okay, it's good draw, but considering you have to die and give a prize, and it's a stage 1-2, I don't think it's worth it. I mean, the Dene Gx is going to come out, which is it's pretty similar, very solid draw power. So I don't see why you wouldn't run that and run a Pokemon like this. I mean, yeah, it's a GX, so you run the risk of all the shit GX Pokemon have to deal with. But this guy is still gonna die and give a prize, and you also it is a stage 1 too. So just run Dedenne and risk having a small GX dude instead of running this, I would say. Yeah. This would only be solid against in decks like I guess they can utilize, I don't know, like maybe Shedinja, maybe the Sableye Troll decks with Life Dew and Expanded, if anybody even uses them now that we don't have the puzzles. You know, shit like that. You gotta mitigate the prize given. Otherwise, it's just too weak, giving your opponent a prize just to draw 7. Just to draw it until you have 7. Man, my voice is getting fucked up, and we have a long way to go. We got Esper here. Draw a card. Asleep again. Like letting in your Kinesis. 20 damage for each damage counter on that Pokemon. Okay. Meowstic. Draw 3 cards and you're asleep. I mean, come on, Espeon is better. Just lets you draw 3 straight up. And then Perplexing Eyes. The defending Pokemon's weakness is now Psychic until the end of your next turn. And you do 70. I mean, what the fuck is the point? You want to do the damage instantly, not do the damage and then worry about hitting for weakness next turn. Mediocre. It's too bad there's a nice background here, like it's like a wedding is gonna go on or something. You got this flowers here, you got this little like little what's it called? I don't know, how's it called in English? But whatever. This little like building, not building there, but whatever, it might be a building. Okay. And a little shrine, I guess. Looks kind of like a shrine or whatever. Anyway. Next up, we got Marshadow and Machamp Gx. So the fighting motherfuckers gonna come in here and bring the heat. So a big guy like this working with the Antsy. Imagine that. Let's see if you're gonna be good. So it starts with Revenge, kind of a classic attack from Machamp in the games. If one of your Pokemon was knocked out during the last turn, this attack does 90 more damage. So 120 for 2 for a Revenge attack. It's not that impressive. There's other guys that do the same thing, and they're just regular ass Pokemon. They might cap at 90, so I wouldn't be too sure. But 120, if it was like 140 or 150 or whatever, it would have been better. Next up, we got 100 Impact. 160 for 3, but no cost attached. No conditions. You can use this continuously. Okay, so it should be solid. And then Heroic Perfection Gx. You do 200 for 3. This Pokemon has at least 1 extra energy attached to it. Only 1 extra. And it would be knocked out by damage from an opponent's attack during your opponent's next turn. It is not knocked out, and its remaining HP becomes 10. So it gives you, if you have 1 extra energy, then this dude basically is going to survive with 10 HP. Now, do you need to have like full HP? No. No, you just survive no matter what. So I guess it can be useful. I mean, being able to save yourself when you know where you're going to die and just skip giving your opponent 3 prizes like that, it's good, and it only needs like 1 extra energy. So the GX attack is definitely very good. 100 impact is good too, not having any conditions. Revenge, I guess it can be useful maybe, but I wish it was a little better. And the stats are what you would expect from a Tag Team GX. 270, it's high. 3 retreat. Weak to Psychic. Might be another good fighting Pokemon in fighting decks. I don't know if Buzzwole will run this, but it definitely has some uses, I guess. Diglett and Dugtrio are the regular ones. Underground Work. If this card is discarded by the effect of Giovanni's Banishment, discard the top card of your opponent's deck. Okay, so some deck out stuff is gonna go down, it seems. Did this guy even have this sort of Pokemon at his disposal? I mean, I know he's like ground type leader in the games, of course, in Gen 1, but I don't think he ran, or I think he did have like a Dugtrio, yeah. Perhaps. Or it might be just me. I remember I was using a Dugtrio against him, so I might be going crazy. Cubone and oh wait, Dugtrio first. If you have a Stadium card in play, this attack does 90 damage for 1. Pretty solid. Fastic might be making a comeback, ladies and gentlemen. This is cool. I'm digging it a bit, to be honest. The only problem is the 90 HP. This guy always having shitty HP. At least if you had like free retreat, you would assault me, but you don't even have that. It's kind of a shame. You're supposed to be Dugtrio. See, they always do these things to annoy me. Like, a Pokemon that obviously should have had free retreat just doesn't have it. Okay, let's look at Cubone. But Dugtrio is pretty simple. I mean, I see myself using it in like a fighting deck. You can use it with Deancing and shit, of course. Strong energies and expanded. Focus energy. I guess you're going to do 80 next turn with Beat. Then Marowak. The ground one. Some Team Rocket grunts there again. What the fuck are they doing? You got Bone Rush. Flip a coin until you get tails. Attacks the 50 damage for each heads. And Assault Boom if your opponent's active Pokemon has a tool. 140 for 3. Works with any energy. Decent, solid, not bad. Rhyhorn and Rhydon. Yeah, this is more of a, like, I don't know, like a Kanto set? I have no idea. Like with the Team Rocket dudes in the background here. I mean, it's crazy because, like, there's Red and a bunch of other Gen 1 supporters you're going to see here. So it's really interesting. Yeah, I guess I spoiled the surprise. Rhyhorn, push down. Your opponent switches with their Pokemon, okay. Rhyhorn. Another one. This one does Horn Attack and Boulder Crush. And then Rhydon. Dirty Work. Discard the top card of your opponent's deck. If you used Giovanni's Banishment this turn, discard 4 more cards from the top of your opponent's deck. So I guess, yeah, this is the same sort of interaction that Cynthia and Steven kind of do. This is with Giovanni. I guess this guy decks out. That's what he wants to do. Yeah, but discarding 4 more cards, man, is a lot. And let's see. Rhyperior. I'm guessing it's going to be decking out shit. Land Cannon. During your opponent's next turn, defending basic Pokemon can't use attacks. Alright, I guess he would actually make a good counter against them when you think about it. And then Break Ground does 20 damage to each of your bench Pokemon at 160 for 4. That's not good. You disappointed me now. Good first attack, and then we get a shitty second attack like this. Unless there's an error, but I kind of doubt it. Now, Rhyperior is one of my favorite ground type Pokemon, and I used the Primal Clash 1, the one that had the Omega Barrier Groudon had, and I had a good run with it, and I've been meaning for them to make another good Rhyperior card like that. And the one in Burning Shadows, I thought it was decent, but not really. And this one, the first attack is good, but I wish the second attack was decent as well. Like 160 it would have been ass at 4 energies anyway. And you're just gonna hit all of my guys too for 20? No. 170 HP is good, kind of standard stats for stage 2. For a big guy like this, but just the second attack is fucked up. Tyrogue and Landorus. Okay, yeah, one thing I forgot to mention in the beginning, this set actually brings back baby Pokemon since the Heart Gold Soul Silver days, basically, since 2010, like Cerebi says here. And this guy is a baby Pokemon. So Naughty Kick, once turning your turn before you attack, you may flip a coin, and your turn ends if heads put 3 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon. So that's all it does for Retreat. Damn. I mean, I guess you can get this effect from the bench too, right? Yeah. But I mean, normally when you wanna attack, like you wanna do some significant damage with an attack. If you miss your turn of attacking with a Tails effect on this dude, it's bad. So I guess if only you're not attacking, then you can risk it with an effect like this. I'm guessing the other babies are gonna have similar effects like these. As you guys can see, it doesn't have a weakness, a retreat, or a resistance. It's just everything is blank here. 60 HP. I mean, it's still gonna give a prize though. So yeah. I guess they're bringing these baby Pokemon back, but making them kind of weaklings, like they're supposed to be babies Pokemon, I suppose. Okay, next up we got Landorus, basic Landorus, nice. And you got linear attack, 20 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. And wait, it says 30 on the text here. It's Japanese, so it might be just 30. There's like an error here in the text, probably. Okay. And then Power Cyclone, 60 for 2, moving energy from this Pokemon to one of your bench Pokemon. So solid fighting Pokemon. Like, this guy definitely puts something like Regirock from Celestial Storm to shame. Because the second attack is just, you can do this quicker. And conserve energies too. And then linear attack, if it's just a 30 snipe, then that's pretty good. I just hope you can hit the active Pokemon as well. Looks really freaking, it looks really fearsome here. Like, it just has these hands kind of telling you, come on, or some shit. Nice. Dig it. Good fighting Pokemon. Crop Brawler and Chromobile. Got Corkscrew Punch. Corkscrew Punch, yeah. And then Knuckle Bomber, if you have more prize cards, it's going to do 90 for 3, okay. What about you? Fight alone, if you have fewer Pokemon in play than your opponent, this attack does 50 more damage for each Pokemon you have in play. So, for each, wait a minute, this attack is 50 more fewer. So I guess for each extra Pokemon your opponent has, you're going to do 50 more damage. That's interesting. So I guess if you have this guy on his own and your opponent has a full bench, then this guy can kill pretty much anything. It's an interesting attack working with DC as well. And Magnum Punch is just 80 for 3. Okay, wacky art once again. Wacky indeed. Yeah, I think there was a Lucario that basically did like a similar thing, where you just, the less Pokemon you have, it did like more damage and shit, but just having very few Pokemon is always risky. Like, you gotta really know what you're doing. So, yeah. You could definitely do high damage though, that's for sure. And then Machamp and Honchcrow Gx. Okay. So, my favorite thing about this set, for sure, it will probably be Honchcrow Gx, because I knew this set had this guy in. I didn't really read the cards, but I knew I saw this guy. And I'm really excited about him. I hope he's finally fucking good. We haven't had like a good Honchcrow card since Supreme Victors, really. So the Macro does Astonish. It's Hand Rape. Usually you do stuff like this, okay? And then Honchcrow GX. Okay, what you got? My boy, my gangster, my thug. Night Ruler. As long as his Pokemon is your active Pokemon, your opponent can't play any Pokemon tools, special energy, or stadium cards from their hand. Okay, real talk. So this is a good ability, and I'm really happy to see this. Already with a good start. Now, it covers a lot of ground. They can't play stadiums, they can't play tools, they can't play special energies. It's some good shit. You gotta admit that. I really dig it. And Feather Storm, this attack does 30 damage to 2 of your opponent's bench Pokemon, the extra Pokemon EX, and you do 90 for 3. So, okay, I guess you can only spread on GX or EXs. It's nice though. I guess if you can hit those, it becomes like a 150 for 3 attack total. Nice. And then the GX attack, Unfair GX. Your opponent reveals their hand, discard 2 cards from their hand. Okay, so nice. It's a hand rape. That's intense. You get to see and you get to discard 2. But it's your GX attack. So really digging it. Finding resistance handy. Weak to lightning is probably a very bad thing right now. Retreat isn't the greatest. 210 HP is solid. But I really dig it. Honchcrow is one of my favorite Darkness Pokemon. I always go between this, Absol, and Darkrai. I can never like decide between them. I mean, because Absol is Gen 3, Absol just might take it, but I really just fucking always love Honchcrow, and Darkrai, of course, as well. So yeah, I'm really happy to see this card, like seeing one of my favorite Pokemon come back finally, getting a GX, and having some good stuff going. Like, the ability is good, the attack probably isn't the greatest, but it's kind of nice. At least you can just attempt to use him. So very happy about this. Very happy indeed. Next up we got Spiritomb. let's see what you do. You only have 60 HP and no weakness, only one retreat, standard stuff I guess for Spiritomb. Build Grudge. Once during your turn, you may put one damage counter on this Pokemon. What? Yeah, okay. Anguish and Scream, I guess you synergize with this. I don't want to fucking... This act does 30 more damage for each damage counter on this Pokemon. So I guess you can start at 40, but... I mean, you're not really gonna go far when this guy only has 60 HP. I mean, I guess what you can do is slap like a rainbow energy on this guy, so you get like the first damage counter. Then you put one more, so then you're essentially doing 70 for one, but then this guy's gonna die for sure next turn. And you got this sort of a fast, aggressive Pokemon. I could see it work like that. So yeah, maybe people are gonna use this. It would definitely fuck over something like Lost March hard. So that's the thing that I like about it. I guess it's not as useless as it appears to be. People might try and make an aggressive deck with this guy and just go with it. I mean, but you really just need to attach like one of these rainbow energies, or just find some way to put more damage counters on this dude, because if it doesn't have like at least two, then it's not really doing much damage. Like, you can put the first one yourself, so you can do 40 for one, but it's not that worth it, I guess. I mean, and doing, even if you do like 70, if you're gonna do 70 and then die so easy, it's not that good. At least Pokemon like Buzzwole, they can probably tank a hit or two with 130 HP. So yeah, it's kind of hit or miss, to be honest. I see where they were going with this, but it might be too risky. Who knows? We got Sandal here. This art looks pretty familiar, this sort of clay art. I could be going crazy though. Intimidating Fang, as long as this Pokemon is your active Pokemon. Opponent's active Pokemon attacks do 20 less damage. Alright. Good effect. And then we got another Sandal here. This one is more standard art. Brave Fang. If this attack knocks out your opponent's active Pokemon during your next turn, 120 damage. Who the fuck is going to do 30 for 3, man? Yeah, it is not good. I'd rather you had like a solid, just 1 for 10, 2 for 20 attack. Krokorok. Boom. Gotta love this guy's cry. You can do Bite and Corner if any Pokemon can retreat. And what you got? Krookodile. You got 150 HP. You got a 3 retreat and the psychic resistance, weakness to fighting, typical. You can do Panic 50 times for each energy in your opponent's active Pokemon's retreat cost. It's not good, man. I mean, if they have like 2, let's say, you're doing 100 for 3. I guess it's just decent. I mean, against guys that have like, let's say 4 retreat, you can kill them instantly, probably doing 200. So he's definitely good against them. But you want a more reliable attack. I mean, against everybody else, it's not going to be that good. I mean, I guess you can do 150 against Pokemon with 3 retreat. But it costs 3 energies too. I mean, I guess the best thing you can do is combine this with one of the Alolan Executors that just puts more retreats on your opponent's Pokemon. There's a stadium that does that too. Silent Sea or whatever, or something like that. I don't remember, but I guess you can do some combos with this guy. It might not be too bad because I suppose even though it's 3 energy, you can use it with any energy, so it's flexible. But there was definitely room for improvement. Like if you could have just done that attack for a DC, then I would have seen it definitely being solid, being able to see play. I mean, I guess in Expanded you can use Dark Patch too. Might be something to try actually. Problem is that this guy's a stage 2, although Inductor is a stage 1, so trying to get all those guys out just so you can boost this guy's damage. There might be more efficient Pokemon to try out. Like the Poliwrath or Gengar, for example, from this set. And then its crunch attack is 100 for 4 and discard an energy to your opponent's active Pokemon. Okay, whatever. We got Jigglypuff. And, okay, you're not, yeah, you've got some fucking, like, flower shit going on here. And Ball Roll, 20 damage for each head. If you flip a coin until you get tails, yeah, okay. And then the Wigglytuff. What the fuck kind of freaky art is this? Damn. Polished Egg. Put 3 energies from your discard pile into your hand, inferior to energy retrieval, and then Sleepy Ball. Opponent's active Pokemon is asleep. Okay, so useless as you can be. Okay, whatever. Not gonna take too much time on these pretty mediocre Pokemon. Okay, and then we got Cleffa, baby Pokemon number 2. And are you gonna be as broken as your OG counterparts? So definitely, I like what's going on in the art here. There's like a Swablu toy there, or whatever the fuck it is. Almost looks like a rare candy with like eyes, or whatever. There's some other like jelly beans and shit here. Cool. It's like it's licking something or whatever. Pretty cute stuff. And obviously, its baby effect has to do with drawing, akin to the previous Cleffa babies. So once during your turn before you attack, you may flip a coin, and your turn ends. If heads, you shuffle your hand to your deck and draw 6 cards. Now this I could see being used because, I mean, in the early game, you're not really, maybe some decks that aim to set up and they don't really attack, you don't mind maybe risking it like this, just doing everything and then using this ability towards the end of your turn. If you get heads, you're gonna get like a Cynthia. If you don't, you don't. It only gives 1 prize, so it's not that risky. Now, granted, it's only a 60 HP Pokemon. I don't know. I mean, you could say there's a lot of different support options you could use. Like, why run a Pokemon like this when I can just use? You could just use Vulpix or something. And now we got fucking Jirachi too, you know, and all the other support options you could say. But there's definitely a merit to this effect. I mean, I could see people using this. It's definitely more useful than what Tyroke is trying to do. Just put damage counters like that, I guess. This one is drawing, and this is important during early game. Yeah. So here's Cleffa, and then we got Cottony. Expand it during your opponent's next turn. It's going to reduce damage, okay, by 10. And then we got Whimsicott Gx, another one of the Gen 5 Pokemon that I actually really like. The Kinder Dude, that's how I refer to him. Anyway, Kinder Bee is what I nicknamed my Whimsicott in the games. And you got Fluffy Cotton. If any damage is done to this Pokemon by attacks, flip a coin. If it's prevent that damage. Okay, so I touched on this on a previous review. I think it was Full Metal Wall when we had like another Pokemon that, yeah, I think it was like a Hypno that did some shit like that, but not exactly. I was never a fan of Cinccino and the Noivern, that if you get heads, when they attack that Pokemon and you get heads, you get no damage, because it's pretty freaking unfair. They can be combined with things like, I think, perhaps Lucky Coin or some other cards like that. There was definitely something you could combine it with, that's for sure. I don't remember. I think Victini is just for attacks, but yeah. And what else do? You got Energy Flow. This attack does 30 more damage for each energy attached to this Pokemon. So you need a lot of them to do a lot of damage. So you're gonna start at 40, I guess, then 70 for 300 for 3. Not a great ass attack. And then Toy Box Gx. Search your deck for up to 5 cards and put them into your hand and shuffle your deck. So the same attack as Metagross algorithm, but it costs a specific energy. You can't do this with anything, but it's a stage 1. So yeah, this Pokemon definitely screams abuse for troll strategies, with the ability giving you a nice toolbox effect with Toy Box attack. Yeah. I don't like where this is going. But then again, this Pokemon is supposed to be like a troll in the games as well, with Prankster. Too bad. Too bad. I like using this with Infiltrator in the games and shit. Whatever. Its stats aren't very great though, like 190 HP. It's a bit low. I mean, it's as much as Benetti Gx has, but Benetti Gx, I guess it can do some tricks as well. The bottom stats, I guess, are decent. But being weak to metal might not be so good with Full Metal Wall coming out. We got Meowth then. You've got this substitute, this Teddy's there. Whatever. The substitute thing that appears in the games when you use the move. You can draw 2 cards and then become asleep as well with Blessing. I guess wait, this is actually better because you draw 2 and then you become asleep. Okay, whatever the fuck. And Persian. I'm surprised there's no Giovanni here. So as long as this Pokemon is in play, all of your Pokemon with the Blessing attack have no energy cost for that attack. So is this supposed to work with just Meowth? I don't fucking know. It just does 90 for 3, free retreat, but it doesn't seem to have anything else. And yeah, it seems you can just make this guy use Blessing for free. What the fuck is the point? I don't get it. I mean, I guess you can make this combo, but whatever the fuck. Persian Gx, maybe this is a real dude. So, nasty cat Pokemon. Never really liked this guy too much. You got Catwalk. Once during your turn, if your Pokemon EX was knocked out, you may search your deck for up to 2 cards, put them into your hand. You can't use more than one of these abilities in your turn. So one of your Pokemon GX or X needs to be knocked out for you to use this effect. But the bonus is pretty good. You can grab any 2 cards. You can't say that's a weak effect. Alright, and then Vengeance. This attack does 20 more damage for each Pokemon in your discard pile. You can't do more than 180 damage in this way. Wait a minute. Okay, so this is some discard pile shit. So the maximum is 190 for 3, I guess. And it starts only at 10. It requires 3 energy, but it's gonna work with any Pokemon like Vespiquen. So you might be looking at this next Vespiquen dude. I don't know. The new Vespiquen Flareon dude. And then Slashback GX, it's GX attack. You do 150 for 3 and switch this Pokemon one of your bench Pokemon. Okay. Nothing really spectacular, but I guess it can be useful. Since this is a colorless Pokemon, it can work with any energy, so you can combine this with a bunch of different Pokemon. So, yeah, experiment. That's the point of these flexible colorless Pokemon. And Duduo and Dodrio, Peck. That's it. And Dodrio. Tree attack. This attack does 60 damage for each heads. Triple coin flip. And then 90 for 2. This Pokemon can't use Accelerated Impression. Next turn. Okay, whatever. I mean, I guess it is a decent stage 1. You can do high damage for DCE, and that's it. You can't use the attack next turn for retreat. Standard sets. Looks solid. Nothing really that spectacular. And we got some Porygons going here. Digicharge. Yeah, way to remind me of Digimon here. Okay. Flip 3 coins for each head. Use your deck for an energy. Put that in your hand. And let's look at the other dudes. If Cerebi loads. This guy just draw a card, but you don't become asleep. Okay. Yeah, I like how they distinguish between these Pokemon to give. Okay, let's give this guy the draw card effect, but he's asleep. This guy, he can draw a card, but not asleep. Yeah, great logic there. Okay, Porygon 2. Now, way to make Porygon 2 look like a cute Pokemon. Yeah. Alright. You got double draw, draw 2 cards, but that's not really that spectacular. There's this Pokemon that can just like draw 2 in their basics. Like the Farfetch from Team Up, pretty much. And it also has a good second attack. And then spinning attack. Alright. Porygon Z, another one of my favorite Pokemon. Normal Pokemon, but it always sucks. You got Crazy Code as many times as you like during your turn. You may attach a special energy from your hand to one of your Pokemon. Right, I remember this guy. I've seen him like revealed a while ago. Yeah. So this guy, he's really unique in that it's basically the Rain Dance Deluge style of effect where you can attach as many energies as you want in a turn, but they gotta be special. Thing is though, is that it's not just a specific special energy, it's any special energy. And I think this sort of effect might be too broken, or it might end up being like too weird in a shit way, like it's not going to do anything. Because it means you have to use, all your deck is going to have to be like special energies and shit. You're going to have to run a lot of special energies if you want to get this sort of a type of effect. And the other thing is that you can't really get those energies back as easy, I guess, because energy retrieval and stuff, it works only with basic energies. But the possibilities are really endless. I mean, all of these special energies, I mean, I know for a fact that it's either in this set, I guess we're going to find out as we scroll, or maybe another set. They're going to be re-releasing, I think, the boost energy, the triple DC, basically. And that's definitely good. And its Tantrum attack, it just does 120 for 3 and instant confusion. But once again, if that energy that was from the EX era is getting released, I think it's in this set, then we're looking at some broken shit here. A Pokemon like Snorlax is definitely going to get even more playable, even Snorlax GX, and just the possibilities are endless with this Pokemon. It's really amazing, and I'm happy about this because Porygon Z is a Pokemon that I really like. It's another energy acceleration Pokemon in a way, and man, it's great. It's just really the possibilities. I can't wait to fucking experiment with this Pokemon. Excellent, excellent indeed. So I'm not gonna focus too much on this guy. I could probably talk for like another 20 minutes about this guy, but I think it's just pretty self-explanatory when you've got an energy acceleration like Blastoise, Magnezone, but instead of a basic energy type, it's for special energies. You guys can see the brokenness that can entail. So let's just move on and see what else is in here, because my voice is getting fucked up, and yeah, you just gotta fully review these sets though. That's what I'm supposed to do. Long eating, that's what the Snorlax does. Between turns, heal 10 damage from this Pokemon, and it already starts with 150 HP. They decided to go with some wacky, like, Teletubbies art here for some reason, but it doesn't change the fact that this guy is already good. It can be an effective wall, an effective tank. And big counter, if your opponent's active Pokemon is a tag team, this attack does 120 more damage. So tag team GX hater, not bad, not bad. You can use this guy and do 180 against him. He's not gonna quite get a one shot, but he definitely puts the pressure on them. Now, I don't know if you guys know or if you remember, but there was a Cresselia EX, the one and only Cresselia EX, that came in Boundaries Crossed, beautiful full art, that had this kind of effect where you can just, it heals itself between turns, 10 damage. This opens up into a lot of different combinations where you can just move the damage from your guys using a Pokemon that moves your own damage counters. Like, I think it was called the fucking Reuniclus. And then put them on a dude like this where it just heals them every turn. And you've got a strong interaction going. So maybe people are going to use this like this. Yeah, I mean, nowadays when we have fucking Pokemon like the Wailord Gx and Max Potions, is not that impressive. I mean, I guess to slowly get this kind of healing, but it is something I just thought I'd mention. If this ability is going to have any implication, one of them would be this. Happiny, yay, my favorite baby Pokemon, and it just looks so cute and innocent. You just want to cuddle it. Nice. You just want to hold it innocently in your hands, hug it. Okay, enough being acting like a gay ass guy. Oh, probably shouldn't have said that. Being so effeminate, I guess. Right. I guess I have my cute side too. Complete heal. Once starting your turn, you may flip a coin, and your turn ends. If heads, heal 60 damage from one of your Pokemon. Nice. This is another good little effect. I guess if you don't attack, pretty simplistic. Baby Pokemon, Happiny. Obviously, this didn't get released in the OG days, and even in Heart Gold, Soul Silver, actually, they didn't really utilize them. They just made baby Pokemon for the OG babies. So it's cool. I like it very much. Yeah. And we got Chatot. Mimic, shuffle your hand into your deck, then draw a number of cards equal to the number of cards in your opponent's hand. And then Tone Deaf, your opponent's Pokemon is not confused. Okay, so the first attack is basically a throwback to the very good Chatot that was released in Majestic Dawn. But that one didn't really need any energies to work, and those were different times as well. And now you probably don't have that luxury of doing shit like this. But I guess if you want to use this, you can. Like I've said before, there's like a plus and minus that can do. They have solid draw attacks like these, and a bunch of other support Pokemon, but they're not seeing any play, and for good reason. They're just outclassed by things like the Jirachi and shit. Yeah. But anyways, I'm thinking about the little mistake I made before. I'm trying, it's just the way that YouTube and the world is right now. Is just you got to be so careful not to offend anybody. And I didn't mean to say the shit that I said before, but it is what it is. I'm not too worried anyway. Like I'm a pretty laid back person when it comes to shit like this. Which is why I curse all the time. Okay, Escape Rope Reprint, Crazy Pick, a new card. And we're finally getting into the trainers. I'm very curious. So look at the top 3 cards of your opponent's card. I guess it probably means deck here. And pick a card. Shuffle the remaining 2 cards back in the deck and put the other card on top of their deck. So, okay, arranging the cards in the top of the deck. Some disruption shit going here. This is kind of like the trick shovel, where you can see your opponent's top card and then decide if you want to let them draw it or not. It's kind of very fucked up. That card was very fucked up, to be honest, and this is very similar. So I don't really like it that they're printing cards like these. It's just an item too. Yeah, fuck this hammer. Or pick, whatever. Another freaking Ultra Ball reprint, Rare Candy reprint, and Flame Crystal. Look like a ruby. Put 3 fire energy from your disc upon into your hand. Oh my god. Lovin'. Yeah. So in all my Raipor and all my Embor energy acceleration fire shits, this basically is like a better replacement for energy retrieval. I mean, you can't grab any basic energy, it has to be fire, so I won't be able to get those lightnings. But I'm digging it, not gonna lie. Be cool if I get some secret rares of these if I'm lucky enough. Looks really cool as well. Red, one of my favorite colors. Flame Crystal, indeed, getting us the fire energies. Fly, boy. And then Dusk Stone, cool. A DP card. If you have Pokemon that can evolve to Mismagius, Honchcrow, Chandelure, Aegislash, including Pokemon GX, search your deck for one of those Pokemon and use it to evolve that Pokemon. Beauty. Okay, so my Honchcrow is becoming even better with this. This gives a little bit of merit to the Mismagius too, and Chandelures too, like any Chandelure cards. It's pretty interesting. It's going to appreciate this card being a stage 2 as well. Pokemon, but I wonder if it works like a rare candy, like if you can use it straight up on Chandelure, on like Lampent, or you can even use this on Litwick. You can definitely use this easily on Honchcrow and Mismagius, since they're stage 1s, and Aegislash too. I mean, fucking Aegislash, did that dude evolve in with a Duskstone? I suppose, if they're saying it here. Whatever. It is a ghost too. Yeah. This is definitely a good card though. I don't know what kind of business it has in this set, since this is a card that would have to do with DP, like the Duskstone when it was released in that set, but I guess maybe I'm thinking too much about this. It's definitely good. You can evolve into those guys quickly from the deck like this, and on your turn 1, so it's great. Nice. Next up, we got Giovanni's Banishment. Okay, dude, what's up? I'm not gonna lie, you don't look that good from this art. This looks like a really bad designed cartoon, to be honest. And you discard up to 2 of your bench Pokemon and all cards attach them with no damage counters on them. What the fuck? Okay, so it's not a deck out, dude, but I guess you gotta use this for the other cards to get their deck out effects. It's a hefty cost though. Discard 2 of your bench Pokemon and all cards attach them, and they gotta be clean. So there's no easy, Acerola shit healing with this guy. Thank God for that. It would have been crazy if they released a card like this, being a double, healer like that. But, I mean, I guess you could get rid of some shit that gets stuck there that you don't want after you use, I don't know, like a Shaman's ability or something. I mean, why would you want to waste your supporter, though? I don't know. I guess there's probably some combos you can do with this guy, but it's not your conventional supporter, that's for sure. And Pokemon Fan Club reprint. Then you got this Welder here. Whatever the fuck this is. Attach up to 2 far energy from your hand to one of your Pokemon, then draw 3 cards. Nice. It's from the hand, but you draw cards too. And it's pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, you can grab far energies with the Fire Flint, or even Professors that are in Expanded. So I like this. It also, the cool thing about this is that it's a draw part too. Like, Blacksmith was good, but the problem it was always that if you use this, it means that you're not going to draw cards and extend your hand like that, get some card advantage going. But with this guy, you just gets them from the hand, but you draw 3 cards too. And it's pretty simple. It means that I don't have to discard them. You don't have to think about that shit. So I think he's better than Blacksmith. It definitely doesn't look as good, but he's definitely good. He has his uses. Yeah, the draw 3 cards effect, it's a pretty good cost. It's a pretty good additional effect, what I mean. It's not like it was just draw 1 card. It's draw 3. That's pretty solid. And here it is, Red's Challenge. Yeah, we're gonna get our first Red supporter. I don't think we ever got like a Red in the supporter form. So yeah, that's why it's pretty interesting. Like this set having Giovanni and Red here. It can't be like a black and white set. The black and white themed set. So you cannot play this card unless you discard 2 cards from your hand. So computer search, dude. Search your deck for a card and put it into your hand. So speak of the devil. So this is basically a computer search in a supporter form. You best believe this card is gonna see a lot of play. Now, we gotta keep in mind, computer search, you could use this and use a supporter, which was strong, of course, as it was an A spec. This is a supporter, but it definitely becomes strong competition with Skyla, Volcaner, all these other guys, in the fact that you can grab anything, but the double discard is a hefty cost. Now, it's definitely gonna see play, I would say. But not sure if it's going to be as broken as we might initially think when we see this effect. Yeah. because the double discard is pretty hefty, and it's just really strong using something like Skyline. You don't have to pay anything a lot of times. So yeah, great card. It's definitely going to be up for playtesting. It could end up being just the new shit everybody's going to run, or just become another solid card, more of a tech. Alright, and yeah, triple acceleration energy, this card is in here. We got the Fighting Dojo. Damage done by either player's Pokemon attacks, excluding Ultra Beast with basic fighting Pokemon, do 10 more damage. If you have less prize cards than your opponent, 40 more damage. Yeah, thank you for releasing another fighting Pokemon damage booster. Like, they need any freaking more. Yeah, they gotta be basic fighting Pokemon too, so that sucks even more. So only helping out shit like Buzzwole. Yeah, thank you. I don't dig it. I really don't dig it. They said excluding Ultra Beast, so I guess that's clever. Buzzwole won't be able to utilize this. Thank God. But, I mean, it's just another fighting damage booster, and not working with everybody too. And if you're losing, this 40 more damage is pretty fucking big. I mean, damn. I would imagine this before applying weakness and resistance, so yeah. Shit. But this is the Fighting Dojo in Kanto as well, so yeah, this is more of a Kanto themed set as well, as I would think. Anyway, Dust Island. If either player switches out a poisoned Pokemon with one of their bench Pokemon using a training card, the new active Pokemon is poisoned. If the poisoned Pokemon receives more damage counters from its poison, the new active Pokemon is also affected by that effect. Okay, so going out of their way to make poison some busted shit. Okay, I don't know if I can respect that or be upset about that. This can be pretty broken, but I mean, I guess the problem these strategies always had was always switch. So this can mitigate that, I guess. Alright. Next up, we have the big card right here. Like, I didn't even like look at all these cards here. I mean, I looked at most of them. And I didn't even read this card and already know it's going to be the most broken card in here. So triple acceleration energy. They changed up the name from how the boost energy, I'm pretty sure it was boost energy, the original card was called in the EX era, but it basically does the same effect. This card can only be attached to an evolved Pokemon, and it is discarded at the end of the turn. And if it's attached to a Pokemon that's not evolved, you discard it immediately, whatever the fuck. And it provides triple colorless energy. So yeah, very, 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 very broken. A card like this, like, it is one of the crazy special energies we had in the original EX era, and these sorts of energies, like double rainbow energy, fucking scramble energy like this, and a bunch of others, they're not as memorable for many people because they were only kind of exclusive in that era, for the most part, at least. I don't remember if double rainbow got released in another era. I don't think so anyway, but yeah. This is definitely busted. You guys can see. It makes DC look like a pussy. You gotta discard it at the end of the turn, but the effect is broken as fuck. This makes like 4 energy attacking dudes being able to make their attack like as a 2 energy attachment. So maybe, I guess it makes sense for them to give like weaker damage, like 160 for 4 on a lot of these Pokemon, because it just makes it so fast. Like, damn. Like, can you imagine? Eevee and Snorlax basically now, all you gotta do is just attach a basic energy of any type, and then you just slap this, and, oh, I mean, actually, no, it has to be evolved, so, okay, I guess that guy can't use it, but other Pokemon definitely can. Like, there's definitely gonna be many Pokemon that can use this card to great effect, and I know it's gonna help out a lot of Pokemon that need help, but it might make a lot of Pokemon that are already broken, maybe even more broken. So we'll have to wait and see. Great Pokemon that come to mind that this is really going to help. I mean, I suppose Snorlax was a mistake on my part, but there's gotta be somebody else that just doesn't come to mind right now. Like stage dudes, shit. Like I can't think of anybody right now, but you best believe this is a great card. Definitely a very, very strong card. Yeah. I mean, fucking Slacking actually. My beloved Slacking is gonna be able to use this card and be freaking amazing. It's just so great. I love it. I can't wait to use this card with that dude. It's perfect since this guy was gonna discard an energy anyway. You just slap this energy around, attack, and you're good to go. It's perfect. It really is perfect. Right, and it is definitely the best card from this entire set, the most significant card. And yeah, we got the Fiery Flint reprint here. Yeah, discard 2 cards, grab 4 fire energies. Great. Rescue Stretcher reprint. Kiawe reprint as well. Yeah, some fire support in this set, I guess. It has that fire theme going. I guess it is called Double Blaze in Japanese. Cynthia reprint. She doesn't look that good, damn it. What the fuck? But whatever. Yeah. This sort of really just simplistic cartoony art. And that's basically the set. I want to look my honchcrow Gx. Come on, show the art. You're not going to show the art. Anyway, I would imagine it's going to be a cool full art. Finally, one of these Pokemon getting a print. And this is the set, guys. I guess Welder is a chick here. Was she a chick over here as well? I suppose. You got Red's Challenge as a full art. I would imagine this card is going to be pretty pricey. Yeah. And we got some good stuff going here, man. I mean, there's no GX that really screams out super broken, but there are definitely some strong GXs. You know, Whimsicott might end up being annoying. honchcrow is kind of cool. Persian has its merits as well. And yeah, you got the Flame Crystal reprint, Triple Acceleration reprint, and Shrine of Punishment secret rare. You best believe this card is going to be expensive as fuck. And just a lot of nice cards. I really welcome Triple Energy, even though maybe I'll regret it later. But since we had DC for so long around, it's a good refresher to get another broken special energy like this to mix things up. Might make DC kind of lesser too. I don't know. Might even be worse having them together. But some nice stadiums, some good supporting cards. Duskstone is great. Flame Crystal is great. Crazy pick I don't like. There's the baby Pokemon. We got Porygon Z. Energy Acceleration. Cool. Spirit Tomb. You got other good Stage 2 Pokemon like Poliwrath, Gengar, Weezing. Mewtwo is nice. Mew. Just a lot of good shit, man. Just another good set. Now, is this on the level of Team Up or Lost Thunder? Probably not, especially Team Up. But, I mean, you never know, like, the triple acceleration energy just might be the broken card this set is just going to give us. And it comes as a rare from what it says here. I would imagine that's going to be the same in the actual English set. They might boost it to like rare holo or something, or maybe an uncommon. I don't know. But yeah, it's going to be a very significant card. And we'll have to see what this set becomes bundled with. They might bundle it in with Full Metal Wall or another set. I guess Night Unizon hasn't been released yet. The cards like the ninja shit from that set. My guess is that they're going to combine it with that set, since it has a bunch of Kanto dudes, Kanto supporters like the ninja guys, Koga, his daughter, and the fucking Lieutenant Surge. So it makes the most sense. They're gonna combine it with that set, but we'll see. We'll see how they bundle it with. This is the Japanese one though. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review of Double Blaze, our Unwavering Bonds set that's going to come out in May, 1st of May. And it's going to be significant. Like I've said, a lot of good stuff, a lot of shitty stuff too, but that's how it is. Volcanion is really nice. Can't wait to use it. It's a fire support set, that's for sure. That's for sure. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys subscribe, leave a like, and share this with your friends. I'm gonna go out of breath here and just get fucked out of oxygen. So I'm gonna finish this video. Thank you guys for watching as always.